Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. All of my new subscribers that came from K Shine's channel, I really want to tell y'all thank you. Y'all enjoyed my story about my story was the the part one about the hotel scene and then going to jail. Yeah, that was me. I have another story time on there, but but I received so much backlash for it. I'm not even gonna go there. I was cursing females out left and right, like bitches were talking shit, and I'm not a punk, so it was just it was going down. But let's get into this story time. Let's do it. So back in ninth grade, I want to say, I was friends with these two girls, and they always told me that these two twins always picked on them, and the two twins were known for jumping people. And I was like, oh, well, that's nothing, because my two sisters are twins, too. I'm not a twin, but my mom, there's three of us. Me and my two older sisters, they're twins, identical twins, and then there's me. And I was like, oh, well, that's nothing, because I grew up with twins, so, if they want to jump, tell them bitches, excuse me, if they want to jump, tell the girls, let's see about it. Like, it's nothing. Like, I'm used to it. So one day, my mom was going out of town. I think this was about the summertime, somewhere in there. And my mom was getting ready to go out of town. And I was like, ooh, perfect. I was at my homegirl house that day after school anyway. And I was like, ooh, perfect. You know what I'm saying? My mom was going out of town. I'm gonna go hang out, blah, blah, blah. So school is over with. I go to my homegirl house. We over there chilling about 15 minutes away from where I stayed at. Of course, I rode the bus over there. You know how they go. Back in the day, you ride the bus to your homegirl house, to your homeboy house. Y'all kick it, whatever, whatever. So we over there chilling. Her phone starts ringing. And she's like, these girls playing on my phone. They been throwing rocks. My brother been coming home telling me they throwing rocks at him, blah, blah, blah. And it's her friend. I'm like, who? Like, who's picking on your brother? Who? And she's like, the twins I was telling you about. And I was like, you know what? Where these girls stay at? Because, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing. Like, they twins. I got twins. Not saying I was going to call my sisters because, obviously, I was in high school. My sister older than me by, like, 4 years. I'll tell y'all my age some other day. My birthday's coming up. Y'all will find out how old I am then. No, I'm not in my 30s either. Let's get that understood. But, anyway, I was like, where do these girls stay at? And she was like, oh, not too far from here. And I was like, well, call them all and tell them we on the way. Because I didn't have them, I'm saying, they not finna pick on my friend. I said, let alone her little brother. Like, y'all bitches picking on somebody who obviously can defend themselves. Like, y'all weak. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, all right, bet. So she get the address. We walk up. Mind you, it's summertime, y'all. It is hot as hell. Why I had on a hoodie and some damn tights, I don't know. Y'all know how they used to go back in the day, even though it was hot. Somebody got on a damn hoodie and it was always me. Well, no, it wasn't always me, but that particular day I wore a hoodie. But whatever. So we walk over there, y'all. We walk at least 30 minutes to get to these girls' house. But I wasn't tripping because my adrenaline was going. When you mad and your adrenaline pumping, it's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not a problem. Everything is like going through one and out the other. You don't even feel it. You know what I'm saying, at that point. So we get there and I see a whole bunch of girls out, a whole bunch of people outside. I'm going to call them kids because that's what we were back then. We were like 14, 15. I see a whole bunch of kids outside. And I walk up and I'm like, which one of the twins? And she was like, them two right there. So I'm like, hey, which one of y'all is Annie and Alyssa? And she was like, they turned around and was like, oh, that's us, we never saw you before. Who are you? And I was like, I'm your worst fucking nightmare, bitch. I was like, why are y'all throwing rocks at my friend brother? And she was like, we're not throwing rocks at him. I was like, so he just gonna make up a lie. And they were like, get off our property. We're gonna call the police or something. And I was like, oh, bitch, you might as well call them because I'm not leaving unless y'all get out there and fade. And they were like, no, like, we don't want to fight, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, y'all don't have a choice. So, like I said, y'all gonna call the police, y'all might as well call them because I'm not leaving without a fight. So, I started taking off my jacket because I meant what I said. And I started walking towards them. Well, one of them, But one of them grabs the other one by the hand, and they start running to the house. So I go up to the door. They ran in the house and hurried up and locked the door and slammed it. So when I walked into the door, it was locked. Y'all, I don't know what came over me, but when I tell you I kicked the fucking door open, like the whole door caved in. I kicked that motherfucker wide open. And the first twin I seen when I got on the other side of the door, I just took off on her. Like we going at it, we toe to toe, we fight. The other twin comes from the side of me, and she hits me upside my head. She hit me with something though, like she hit me with a stick or something. So that kind of knocked me off a little bit. So now I'm on the ground, and the other twin, me and the twin are on the ground fighting. I hurried up and get up because I'm like, oh no, y'all bitches not finna jump on me while I'm on the ground. So I get up. She's steady trying to swing the stick. I grab the stick, and I hit her motherfucking ass with it because, bitch, that shit hurt. Ooh, so please don't monetize me for cussing. I'm sorry. I'm going to work on it. I hit her with the damn stick. So we fighting, now we fighting again. We toe to toe. I'm both of them. I'm fighting both of them. Now, I know y'all probably thinking, why are you the only one in the house fighting? We're going to get to it. So the fight comes, finally, they start breaking, the kids that were outside, all the boys and stuff. It was a lot of boys outside. They started to break it up. They was able to break it up. And, I get back outside the house. The twins close the door. And they're like, we're calling the police. They screaming and hollering, we're calling the police. I'm telling my homegirl, like, bitch, we need to dip because they calling the laws. I'm not going to jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck no. So, I'm steady cursing. I'm not going to jail. So, we walking off and I'm thought about it. I'm like, my wig is off. Like, I look crazy. I got on a wig cap. Police coming. I don't want to get caught walking on the side. I don't want to get caught walking on the sidewalk because, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to go to jail. Yeah, I just kicked in somebody's door, but I wasn't trying to go to jail for fighting. Like, we didn't go. My mama kids, when we fought back there, it wasn't no such thing as calling the police. You get your one, you fight, and it is what it is. Ain't no calling the laws. Like, who does that? So, we walking back, and I'm like, it didn't click to me until I got back home. What happened was the girl that told me, the girl that I was fighting for, basically, the girl I was fighting for, she was still over there when I left. I dipped off because, like I said, I wasn't trying to get caught up with no police. You know what I'm saying? So, I went to like the neighbor's house or whatever, somebody's house in the neighborhood, and they were nice enough to give me a ride home. I live like right around the corner, driving distance, but walking distance, it was like 20-30 minutes. So they give me a ride home or whatever, and I get home, y'all, my mom is still home. She hadn't left yet. I'm like, oh my God. How am I going to walk in the house with my wig off, just a wig cap, and get away with it? I felt so bad because I had to make up a whole entire lie. So I get in the house, my mama look at me. She realized my wig is off, and she was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, nothing. And she was like, where's your wig? And I was just like, man, I got in a fight. I got jumped. And she was like, who? She was like, oh no, drop your stuff. Let's go. She was like, we finna go out there again because I want them to run up. I want them to think they're going to jump on someone. I'm out there. Let's go. She was like, what they look like? Y'all, I'm making up a whole damn lie. We looking goofy. I got my mama looking goofy as fuck. Because I did not want to get in trouble walking around these damn apartments looking for these girls that didn't live nowhere in there. And she was like, well, when you see them hoes, you better call me immediately because I'm going to come outside. We're going to see about jumping on mines. And I was just like, all right. How about when we're walking back to the house, I see a familiar looking car. And I'm like, I know whose car is that? And they was coming from the back, like where my house was. So I'm like, can't be. How about the girl who I was helping? The girl who I was out there fighting for. Why wouldn't I guess the police came over, to the twins' house and was questioning them. Y'all, why she showed the police where I stayed at? I didn't find this out till like the end, like the last minute. But why she showed the police where I stayed at? I guess so I asked and I checked her, pressed her about it. Like, bitch, we about to box because no, you did not show the police where I stay at. She was like, her mama was telling her, like, if you don't show me where she stay at, you gonna be grounded, I'm gonna take your car, blah, blah, blah. You know, so of course, don't nobody want to get that car took, whatever, whatever. So, you know, she went ahead and told her, but bitch, now I want to fight because, no, like you could have told her you don't know or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I get, not everybody gonna lie to their mama like I did. Don't do that. I would never let my mama, after that, me and my mama, I keep it so, I tell my mama anything. I don't care what it is. You know, I'm just gonna keep it 1,000 because that's my mama. What am I lying for? All I had to do was to her, yeah, I went through, she would have cursed me out, but, you know, I probably wouldn't have to go through what I went through. So, anyway, that was on a Friday. So, mama goes out of town. My mama leaves that night. And, you know, I haven't heard from the girl that the girl that I went out there with. I haven't heard from her. I haven't heard anything on Facebook about it. So, I'm thinking everything cool. No. I go to school Monday morning. I'm in second period. You know, I'm thinking everything cool. Ain't nobody talking about it. It was like 2 people came up to me and asked me, was like, oh, that was you that beat the twins up or whatever, whatever. And I was just like, yeah, but like keep that shit on the low. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want it going around the school. I get the second period. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning. And the officer, the school resource officer, or I guess they call her resource officer. I don't know. She comes in the classroom and was like, Miss Mash. And I turned around and I'm like, yes. And she's like, can I see you outside here? Bring all your stuff. And I'm just like, oh shit. I'm thinking, okay, maybe, you know, she heard about it. She just want to talk to me about it. You know, give me a warning. Yeah, right. I come out the room, there's 2 officers right there. Like, how you doing, Miss Mash? I'm like, hello. I ain't gonna say I'm doing good because I'm probably finna be doing bad. When they were like, you got the right to remain silent. And I'm like, the right to remain silent for what? And he was like, burglary and habitation. Y'all, they charged me with burglary and habitation for kicking the door and fighting. You know, going in there and assaulting the girls, beating them up or whatever. Oh my goodness. So I get in a resource officer's office and, but this story, I'm going to have to break it down into 2 parts because I see my time acting a little funny right now. So I have to break it down in 2 parts. But we get in the office or whatever, and the girl that, you know, who told me about it anyway, the one I was trying to help anyway, was in there. And she's sitting there crying looking stupid. I'm like, bitch, what are you crying for? You're not even the one in trouble. Like, you didn't even do nothing. When I went in the house and I'm in there fighting him like it was my brother. You outside the whole time, little did I freaking know, with your scary ass. And then you had the nerve to show your people where I stay at. Or whatever. So I'm like, I said, what are you crying for? And she was like, because I didn't want to tell on you and get you in trouble. Da-da-da. Well, I can't tell because I'm finna go down and you going to be in school. You know, I'm finna go down and you going to be good. You going home tonight. I'm finna go to juvenile. I already know. So they're like, yeah, you know, we're going to have to go ahead and detain you or whatever. And I'm like, so fucking mad. I'm like, girl, when I see you again, like, just know, like, it's up. We're going to have to go on and fade because they just don't make those. I was trying to help you. Indeed, I can't blame you. I was old enough to make my own decisions. I knew better. But still, like, bitch, did you at least pinch one of the twins? Like, godly. So, we get to the juvenile, and they tell me that I'm going to have to stay until Friday or whatever. Even though I was supposed to go. No, I was supposed to go see the judge the next morning. But it was snowing the next day, so I had to wait. You know, they got to clear up. So all week, the freaking judge was not in. We had to wait till Friday. Y'all, it was a miserable in there. I had to take my sew-in out. I had to take my sew-in out. Because I had got it sewed in before I went back to school that Monday after the fight. After the fight on Friday. I had to take my sew-in out. I had to take cold showers. The food was a disaster. My freaking ex-boyfriend that I was dating while I was at that school was there. And like, he was one of the servers in the cafeteria. It was just... Juvenile was worse than when I went to prison some years ago. And we'll get into that story time too, sometime later. But it was just a disaster. So I go to court. Excuse me, I had to burp. I go to court that Friday. My mom is there. And she's upset, obviously. I'm mad because I don't like to make my mama upset. And, you know, but, you know, it's just one of those. She took it like a G. She didn't cry. I was the one crying. The judge was like, well, after reading over the notes, I'm going to go ahead and detain you for another 2 weeks because you seem like a threat to society. Y'all, I just broke down. Stay tuned for part 2. It's right behind this one.